Have you ever wondered if someone in your life is a narcissist? This is where our journey begins, delving into the world of narcissism, a psychological terrain characterized by grandiosity, lack of empathy, and an insatiable need for admiration. These are not just traits, but the cornerstones of a personality disorder that can affect every aspect of life. Stick around as we navigate this complex landscape, uncovering the signs of narcissism and learning how to deal with a narcissist effectively. Narcissism is more than just self-love or being self-centered. It's a complex personality trait, often misunderstood and misinterpreted. To truly understand narcissism, we need to dive a bit deeper, beyond the surface-level perception of vanity and self-absorption. Narcissism, in its essence, is characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. But did you know that there are actually two types of narcissism, overt and covert? Yes, narcissism isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. It's nuanced, and it's important to recognize these nuances to understand it better. Let's start with overt narcissism. This is the more recognizable form. Overt narcissists are typically grandiose, with a blatant disregard for others' feelings. They often portray themselves as superior and crave constant admiration. They are generally outgoing, self-confident, and openly seek power and status. Their narcissistic tendencies are typically on full display, making them easier to identify. On the other hand, covert narcissists are a bit more difficult to spot. These individuals are often introverted and present a false image of being humble or insecure. They also crave admiration and recognition, but they go about it in a more subtle, indirect way. Covert narcissists may play the victim, manipulate situations to their favor, and harbor resentment when they don't receive the attention they believe they deserve. Their narcissism is hidden beneath layers of insecurity and self-doubt, making it harder to recognize. Both types of narcissists struggle with empathy and often neglect the feelings and needs of those around them. However, the way they express their narcissism differs, and understanding this distinction is crucial. In essence, narcissism is not simply about being self-absorbed or vain. It's a complex interplay of self-perception, interaction with others, and coping mechanisms. Recognizing these signs is the first step in dealing with a narcissist. So, what are the telltale signs of narcissism? Well, let's dive right in. One of the most common signs of narcissism is an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Narcissists often have an inflated sense of their own worth and abilities. They believe they are special, unique, and superior to others. They might constantly talk about their achievements and talents, even when it's inappropriate or completely unrelated to the conversation at hand. Another sign is a sense of entitlement. Narcissists often believe they are deserving of special treatment. This could manifest as expecting others to comply with their every wish or demand, or getting upset when things don't go their way. They may also react with rage or contempt if they feel they're not receiving the special treatment they believe they're entitled to. Narcissists also have a tendency to exploit others without guilt or shame. They often use people around them to get what they want, without considering how it might affect the other person. They may take advantage of others' kindness, generosity, or love, all the while showing no remorse or regret for their actions. Frequently demeaning, belittling, or bullying others is another hallmark of narcissism. Narcissists often put others down to boost their own self-esteem. They may insult, mock, or criticize people, often under the guise of joking or constructive criticism. But the goal is always to make themselves feel superior. Narcissists also have a knack for monopolizing conversations and belittling or looking down on people they perceive as inferior. They might dismiss or ignore others' feelings and needs and often become impatient or angry when someone else is the center of attention. Another sign of narcissism is envy. Narcissists often envy others and believe others envy them. They may express this envy through negative comments or passive-aggressive behavior. Lastly, narcissists are often preoccupied with fantasies about success, power, brilliance, beauty, or the perfect mate. They may spend excessive amounts of time dreaming about achieving power or success and may become obsessed with their appearance or image. It's important to remember, though, that everyone can display some of these behaviors at times. It's the intensity, frequency, and impact of these behaviors that can indicate narcissism. And diagnosing someone as a narcissist should be left to mental health professionals. However, understanding these signs can help you navigate relationships and interactions more effectively. It can give you the tools to set boundaries, protect your own mental health, and make informed decisions about who you allow into your life. These signs are key to identifying a narcissist in your life. The behavior of narcissists can have a significant impact on those around them. The emotional and psychological effects of being in a relationship with a narcissist can be profound and far-reaching. Imagine a scenario where you are constantly belittled, your achievements overlooked, and your feelings dismissed. This is a common experience when dealing with a narcissist. Their need for admiration and lack of empathy can lead to frequent put-downs and dismissals, making you feel undervalued and insignificant. Then, there's the constant second-guessing. Narcissists are masters of manipulation, often resorting to gaslighting to maintain control. Gaslighting is a psychological tactic where a person makes you question your own reality and sanity. This can leave you in a state of perpetual self-doubt, where you're always second-guessing your thoughts, feelings, and memories. Finally, being in a relationship with a narcissist can be incredibly draining. Their incessant need for attention and validation can leave you feeling exhausted, both mentally and emotionally. You might find yourself constantly catering to their needs, often at the expense of your own well-being. These effects can be damaging, but they are not irreversible. It's important to remember that you are not the problem. The narcissist's behavior is. Recognizing these impacts is the first step towards protecting yourself. It is crucial to recognize these impacts and take steps to protect yourself. So, how do you deal with a narcissist once you've identified them? Dealing with a narcissist can be a tricky task, but it's not impossible. The first approach is setting clear boundaries. Just like a garden fence, boundaries protect you from the overbearing nature of a narcissist. They need to know what is acceptable and what is not. Be firm, clear, and consistent with your boundaries, and don't be afraid to reinforce them when necessary. But setting boundaries is just the first step. It's also important to maintain a healthy distance. This doesn't necessarily mean cutting the person out of your life entirely, although in some severe cases, this might be the best course of action. Instead, think of it as creating a buffer zone, a space where you can breathe, think, and recover from any potential emotional onslaught. Now, here's a crucial point to remember. Don't take their behavior personally. Narcissists have a distorted self-image and an inflated sense of importance, which often leads them to belittle others. It's essential to understand that this is a reflection of their insecurities and not a statement about your worth. You are not the problem. Their narcissism is. That brings us to the next strategy. Don't engage in their games. Narcissists often thrive on drama and conflict. They may try to bait you into arguments or manipulate you to feed their ego. It's best to stay calm, keep your emotions in check, and avoid getting drawn into their chaos. Finally, if you find that dealing with a narcissist is taking a toll on your mental health, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors are trained to handle such situations and can provide you with the tools and strategies to effectively navigate these challenging relationships. Remember, dealing with a narcissist can be tough, but you're tougher. You have the right to protect your mental and emotional health. Remember, your well-being is paramount, and you have the power to control your reactions and responses. Dealing with a narcissist can be challenging, but understanding their behavior is the first step. We've taken a deep dive into the world of narcissism, uncovering its characteristics, its signs, and its impact. We've learned that narcissism isn't simply about self-love or vanity. It's a complex personality disorder that can deeply affect those around it. We've identified the telltale signs of narcissistic behavior, from a lack of empathy and a constant need for admiration, to a sense of entitlement and frequent manipulative behaviors. We've also discussed the impact of such behaviors, which can lead to debilitating emotional trauma for those involved. But most importantly, we've explored strategies for dealing with a narcissist. From setting firm boundaries to seeking professional help, there are ways to protect yourself and maintain your emotional health. Remember, it's not your responsibility to change them, but you can change how you react and respond. Stay strong and know that you're not alone.